Hey guys, what's up? It is that time again, time to nerd out over some accessories. We haven't done an Apple accessories video in a while, so I thought I'd take you through some of the things I'm using on a daily basis these days, some of my all-time favorites, and also some newbies I've really been enjoying as well. Let's ramble.
Hold up, place go wild when I pull up. They all on me like it wants some.
Alright guys, first up are two of my current favorite iPhone Apple accessories, a duo of accessories if you will, whereby one kind of lives on my desk and the other is my go-to travel accessory. I love these things because they cover the charging needs of three of my most used Apple devices. This is the ESR Cryo Boost 3-in-1 magnetic charging station. That's a mouthful. And if it looks familiar to you, that's because you've probably seen it on this channel more than once because it's that good. The reason the latest version is particularly good for my iPhone 17 Pro Max is that it features Qi 2.2 charging at 25 watts wireless, going up from 15 watts, and that means a significant boost in charging speed. It will charge the iPhone 17 Pro to 60% in just 30 minutes, while Apple official MagSafe chargers will only charge it to 50% around the same time. It actually comes with a 50-watt charger included to ensure the maximum charging speeds. It packs Cryo Boost, which keeps your phone nice and cool, meaning it won't throttle the charging process, and you can keep using it while it's on the charger. This is actually a great angle for video calls as well. Now, this is a 3-in-1 charger, so it obviously doesn't just charge your iPhone, it charges your Apple Watch and your AirPods as well. Oh, and the neat little trick is that you can actually remove this Apple Watch charger and plug it into any USB-C port, so that could be any USB-C charger, but it can also be the side of your MacBook, for instance, and charge your Apple Watch that way. Really super convenient. Now, this little guy here is the Cryo Boost foldable 3-in-1 magnetic charging station, another mouthful, which is more or less a super compact travel version of this desktop charger here. But make no mistake, despite its compact size, this thing is super powerful because it makes use of the same Qi 2 protocol, which means it can charge my iPhone at 25 watts as well. And just like its bigger brother, aside from my iPhone, it can also charge my Apple Watch and my AirPods. It can even charge all three of them at the same time. Fun fact, this is actually the first foldable 3-in-1 charger with built-in cooling technology. So I don't know if you can see that, but here is the fan. So it actually has the same benefits as the desktop charger, meaning it won't throttle your phone. It will keep it nice and cool so you can keep using it while it's charging. I love this combo, and what I love about ESR as well is that they always manage to keep their prices nice and reasonable. So if you want to check these out for yourself, there will be links in the description below the video. This next one is Mac focused, and as you know, most of these latest Mac computers come equipped with Thunderbolt 5 ports, and when they first came out, there weren't a lot of accessories available that were able to actually make use of that Thunderbolt 5 speed. Slowly, this is changing, and Ugreen is once again among those brands to take the lead. And my current favorite has to be this Ugreen MaxiDock Thunderbolt 5 docking station. This is actually a 17-in-1 all-in-one expansion hub that is literally stacked with ports and features that turn a single Thunderbolt 5 port into an entire suite of options. Most importantly for me as a content creator is the ultra-fast data transfer. 2 times Intel certified Thunderbolt 5 ports deliver up to 120 gigabits per second unidirectional bandwidth and 80 gigabits per second bidirectional bandwidth, fast enough to transfer a 6 gigabyte 4K file in about a second. It's literally insane. Another huge one for me is the built-in M.2 high-speed storage expansion, and this is actually an NVMe PCI Gen 4.4 M.2 slot, which is pretty rare among these hubs, with sequential read and write speeds of up to 6,200 megabytes per second, and that means I can edit my 4K video projects straight off of this beast. Not only does that mean I can get away with buying less Apple storage, it also means I can move this thing between my devices, so I can use it with my M4 Mac Mini, for instance, just as easily as my MacBook. You already know I like my multi-monitor setups, which is another advantage of these hubs. It can drive 3 external displays if you're on Windows or 2 on a Mac. It can even handle a single 8K monitor at 60 Hz or 2 6K monitors at 60 Hz, which is really useful if you're using something like a Studio Display or a Pro Display XDR. And because it pushes 240 watts of power, it can drive my entire desk setup. 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, very good, very fast, absolutely love this thing. Now, if you need something more portable, portable or you move between desks a lot, you might also want to check out Ugreen's Maxi Dock Thunderbolt 5 docking station. And this one is especially useful as well if you need access to a lot of USB-A ports. You can check out both of these bad boys using the links in the description below. And if you do decide to pick one of these up, you can do so at a very significant discount of 22%. Guys, a big thank you to Segway Navimo for sponsoring this video. You know what completely kills the idea of a smart lawnmower? Having to install wires all over your garden, digging them in, fixing them when they break. I mean, we live in a pretty windy area. That's not going to be a fun time. And honestly, I might as well just mow the lawn myself, except I don't have time, and let's be honest, I kind of hate it. This is the Segway Navimo i206 AWD, and it solves these issues completely. No wires, no antenna, you literally drop it in your garden, map everything in the app, and it just goes. The app supports automatic mapping, real-time monitoring of the mowing process, and intelligent operation. It uses NRTK and vision together, so it always knows exactly where it is. And the big thing with this one is the AWD system, saving up to 30% energy. It handles slopes of up to 45%, uneven terrain, even wet grass, without slipping or tearing up your lawn, thanks to that zero-turn steering. And let me tell you, living in rainy old Belgium, that wet grass thing is a killer feature. So instead of spending my weekends mowing, this just runs quietly in the background, avoids obstacles, and keeps everything looking clean. It's one of these products that actually feels like proper, useful smart home tech, not just some gadget. If you want to buy back some of your time like I did, there's the link in the description so you can do so at a discount. Now, the Ugreen dock has a built-in slot for NVMe storage, at least the big one does, which is super useful as a desk solution. But what if you just want storage or you want it to be very portable? There are some really great solutions for that as well. Apple internal storage is very expensive, we all know that, so I always recommend saving some cash by getting the internal storage you absolutely need and then supplementing it with external storage, which typically is a lot cheaper. Now, storage prices are currently unusually high because of all the AI demand for components, including storage, but I'm guessing manufacturers will catch up to that demand at some point, bringing those prices back to a more reasonable level. My favorite external storage solution has been this Acasis Thunderbolt 5 NVMe enclosure. It is insanely fast, 80 gigabits per second. You can edit straight off of this drive, no problem at all. But of course, that also depends on the type of NVMe you decide to stick in there. I like using the Samsung storage. They have large volumes as well, which is great for me personally because of the video files being so large, and they've been super reliable for me, the Samsung ones. But yeah, this enclosure has been rock solid for me as well. The lid is magnetic, so it opens really easily, and all you have to do to swap this out, as you can see, it has a little heat pad on top of it, but this is one of those Samsung NVMe's. You can swap them out super easily by just, pulling this pin, swapping it out, and then just putting the lid back on like this, snap it closed, and you're good to go. It has a built-in fan too, so it doesn't run hot and it doesn't throttle, which means you can keep those fast speeds throughout, but they still manage to keep it small and compact. There's also more dedicated storage like OWC's Thunderbolt 5 drives, which are absolutely fantastic. I'm using those as well, but they're way more expensive and you can't swap out the actual storage. So for me personally, I like these NVMe enclosures. It doesn't necessarily have to be this one. This one happens to be by Acasis, but this is the one I've been using and it's been solid. So this is the one I recommend. Now, if you don't necessarily need those super fast speeds, you can of course just get yourself a simple Samsung SSD like this T7 or a T9. They're super solid. They can handle a ton of abuse. As you can see, it's like a really rough casing, and they've never once failed on me. I've been using these for years, and honestly, for most things, these are plenty fast. This next bit of storage is actually designed for the iPhone. This tiny thing is the Lexar Professional Go, a fast little SSD that is made to fit on your phone. As you can see, I can just plug it right into the USB port, and this is all it is. It's so tiny, and this one is 1 terabyte, but you can even get them in 2 terabytes, which is incredibly useful. I use this with my iPhone all the time, mainly because I like to shoot videos in Apple Log. Of course, I'm talking about the iPhone 17 Pro Max, not this Air, but this is the one I happen to have here, so I'm showing it on this phone for now. Anyway, I like to shoot videos in Apple Log, which is a RAW format that requires a lot of free space, and if you want to shoot in the higher frame rates, you literally can't do it without external storage. Rather than having a big old SSD dangling off my phone, this thing sits snug against the phone, as you can see. I can even rest my finger on it, and when I'm done, I just grab it, plug it directly into USB-C or a Thunderbolt port on my computer, and offload the footage in no time. Good luck trying to get those massive files transferred using AirDrop. Now, a little bit about MacBooks. If I am tossing all that kind of storage in my bag and other accessories as well, I really do want some protection for my MacBooks. I obviously don't want my MacBook to get all scratched up, and currently I'm rocking my MacBook Air, as you can see. I have been doing so for some time now, moving away from the MacBook Pro life. I did a couple of videos on the channel on why I decided to take that route if you're interested, but yeah, the Air is what I'm taking with me these days. So when I do want to put something on it for protection, I obviously want that to be just as sleek and as slim as the computer itself. I don't want to make it any bulkier than it needs to be. So I've really been loving these sleeves by Harbour London. This is a brand that you've probably seen on my channel a lot, and that's because their stuff is just really nice to use. It's very high quality leather, as you can see, but it also has this really nice felt lining, I think it is, or wool, something like that. Anyway, it really protects the MacBook very well against scratches, slides right in, and then on the outside, I think it looks really nice. It looks super smart. So if you want to take this into a meeting, you're gonna look great, and it really does protect the MacBook Air very well. I have it in cognac. This is the one I've been using for a long time, and this is my more recent one in green. I think that looks pretty classy. What do you guys think? When it comes to protecting my AirPods, by the way, both my AirPods Pro and my AirPods Max, they also live in their cases. And you might think that these are from the same brand because they look quite similar, but this is actually from a European brand called Walnut. I think they're based in Sweden, but they do ship to the US, so no worries there. This case, I've had it for at least 2 or 3 years. It looks like it's new. It still looks really good. I don't know if you can see that very well, but the leather is just so nice still. And I really have been abusing this thing. This is the pair I always toss right into my gym bag without looking what else is in there. And I can do that because I feel like this is actually protecting my AirPods. The case is not going to get ruined, so I can highly recommend these. I'll put a link in the description. I forgot what these cost, but they're not super expensive. And the same brand also makes cases for the AirPods Pro Max. As you can see, this is the black case, but they have them in all kinds of colors, and the padding is just really thick. It protects everything very well. You have this little thing here for cables, which is useful, especially for the USB-C ones, since they do have lossless audio using USB-C cable, and you want to take that cable with you, I suppose, if you're using these. So it's nice that they provide a little space for that. And what I also really like is this here. There is a little hole in here that lets you charge the AirPods when they're in here, so you don't have to take them out. It's just all very convenient. And of course, it is a little bit more bulky than the protection you get from Apple. But I mean, the reason why I'm using this, do I really need to explain? I mean, if you've been to the channel before, you already know how I feel about this flappy bikini thing, but this is hardly any protection. Not to mention it looks like a purse. So I will take this thing any day of the week over this bikini looking thing. Now, moving back to iPhone for a second, this is actually one of my favorite finds for the iPhone of all time. Maybe the favorite, actually. This thing is so useful, and I haven't talked about this in a while because it's been out for some time, but this is actually such a useful thing. If you use your iPhone to record yourself, or you like to take a lot of selfies, I'm sure you wish you could just use the rear camera on your iPhone because those are the good ones, but obviously you can't see what you're doing. So you end up using the selfie camera all the time, which doesn't look as good. Well, this thing fixes that. All you have to do is scan the QR code, which will connect you to its Wi-Fi connection, turns on screen mirroring, and boom, you've got yourself a super low latency monitor for your iPhone. And the best thing is that it's MagSafe compatible, as you can see, so you can just snap it onto your phone and you've got this perfect little video package. It's super tiny, it weighs practically nothing, so if you use your phone as a camera a lot, you can even justify putting one of these in your pocket. But it's also useful if I want to film myself, for instance. Let's say I'm in a hotel room, I need to shoot some quick A-roll, I can just prop up my iPhone across the room, sit down and record myself, and use this thing from a distance as a studio monitor, so I can check whether I'm in frame and in focus. And if you want to use this with an actual camera as an external monitor, you can do that too. So while it's designed for iPhone, you can use it with other cameras as well. Kudos to SmallRig for producing this. I think there's a lot of different ones on Amazon these days. I will put some links in the description to this one and maybe also some alternatives. Funnily enough, I think it is pretty difficult to get this specific one, but there's other brands making ones. I think Newer is making a good one, and they basically do all the same things. Now, a quick few accessories for my iPad mini. The mini is my favorite iPad, as some of you might know, and this first accessory is a very underrated one in my opinion, and that is a high quality skin. I don't want to bulk up my iPad mini, so a skin and a paper-like screen protector sandwich, if you will, is what's keeping mine looking fresh. This particular skin is from D brand. It is called Bulletproof Banana, and they don't make it anymore. please dbrand, bring it back. It is the best one you've ever made in my opinion. Anyway, I just ordered an alternative for my iPad mini 7. This one is the iPad mini 6 and it's pretty dope as well. I love the yellow and I can't wait to see it in person. But yeah, this bulletproof banana really needs a comeback. Would you agree? Let me know in the comments, maybe we can get something done here. And lastly, I want to mention this Razer Kishi. The iPad mini is really great for handheld gaming. Obviously, it all works a lot smoother with a proper controller, but most of these mobile controllers are pretty small. They're made for iPhones and they can't accommodate the size of the iPad mini. This one can, and it works really well. If you like playing mobile games, you will love the free app it comes with. It organizes all your games into a library, making it look like an actual dedicated gaming handheld. But of course, the Kishi also works really well if you want to play some games from your Steam library, for example. There are more and more ways to do so these days, to play these AAA games on your iPad, and this controller just makes that infinitely more enjoyable. Alright guys, that's it for today's list of some of my all-time favorite Apple accessories. I hope you enjoyed nerding out with me a little bit. Give the video a like if you did, and if you didn't, just hit dislike twice. See you in the next one.